Thank you for inviting me to comment about the conference. Writing and painting as a continuous system came to be unified under the Han Dynasty in China with the invention of the brush. Made as a writing tool, the brush is a device that accurately transmits the physical movement of the body to be registered by ink onto the paper surface. This manual, sensitive mechanism of production quickly developed into a system of 6 different lines of the script, becoming the source of Chinese-style painting. Namely, the origin of ink painting tradition lies in the writing system of lines and their action. This mode of performativity had a remarkable impact, and the traditions of writing and painting were based on it. What matters is the shape of the line and its mode of execution. The idea was adopted into Western-style painting at the time of its crisis after the invention of photography. Once the ultimate purpose of painting, of creating a mimetic image of the world, lost its immediate function, painting turned into its reflective mode, rethinking its process of making, bringing elements of time and execution to the fore, making the core elements of time, gaze and gesture the fundamentals of modern art, beginning with the Impressionist brushstroke and in the last phase of abstraction, including performative styles borrowed from Asian traditions into the context of modern art, as in the works of Jackson Pollock or Willem de Kooning, known as action painting, which emphasize action, gesture, movement, process and the performance over the visual end result. Some of these ideas were repeated within the Japanese context to create a new mode of performative painting, like in the case of Butai's Shiragakazu of foot painting or Kanayama Akira's robot paintings. However, the relationship between language and writing saw a huge revolution over the 1970s, starting with Derrida's of grammatology, which scrutinized the relationship between language and signification, followed by Roland Barthes' The Death of the Author, which challenged notions of originality, authorship and self-expression. The whole thinking about the relationship between writing systems, language, meaning and self was transformed dramatically, with notions referring to the tear between signifier and the signified, and the writing system meaning was completely shifted towards the idea of the system of signifiers. Ideas like Derrida's arche-writing placed writing before language, overriding structuralist ideas of arbitrary signification. As a result, writing is now perceived as a system of traces, marks and signifiers that create meaning itself in an intertextual mode, recognizing the absence of the signified and the open-ended system of meaning through context. A more complex discourse analyzing of the writing system through rethinking of the modes by which meaning is created or distorted was born. Writing as a noun ceased to be fixed known signifier of the line, shape or performance of self-expression. Instead, it started to be perceived as a system of ideas and meaning-making. Recognizing this revolution is how I understand the text and writing today, shifting the relationship between writing and painting, language and the visual. Despite the desire in Japan to be associated with Western ideas, movements and artists, I suggest a thinking that could move the discussion of writing and painting forward beyond the immediate association of the two through the performative act. To this end, I use an example which, for me, performs the complex and forward thinking about writing, meaning and image. Xu Bing, a Chinese artist who makes use of language as a system through which to investigate culture, convention, politics, system of writing and meaning making, shows how the contemporary artist departed from the exalted place of the brushstroke, instead introducing new thinking about signification that criticizes culturally and socially fixed conventions of writing, image and the meaning. His first project, Book from the Sky, was based on the Chinese calligraphic brushstroke order used to create a set of new, non-existing characters which no one could recognize or read. In the Chinese writing system of tens of thousands of characters, it is normal for readers to have gaps in the text. But Xu pulled this absence to an absurdum by creating a whole new set of invented characters that perfectly obey the visual rules of the writing system they challenge. In his new English calligraphy, Xu created a set of English characters based on Chinese writing lines, distorting the immediate visual differentiation between writing and its shape. In landscape, Xu used character writing into making a landscape painting, yet, instead of using the convention of brush strokes, he used full characters, some of them pictorial in their history, to create an alternative system of signification. To conclude, linking between writing and painting in the context of post-structuralist thinking on language, signification and meaning, we need to reevaluate these relations to overcome classical conventions of execution and performativity. Instead, contemporary artists who work within the Asian writing systems, who are aware of the pictographic genealogy, its standardized system and history of execution and performativity, are those that can lead a new revolution that thinks beyond the already known conventions of performance and gesture. Thank you.